Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the IRB InvIT call hosted by company for discussing the financial results for Q1 FY23. We have with us on the call today Mr. Vinod K. Menon, Mr. Anil Yadav, Mr. Rishabh Gandhi, and Ms. Swapna Vengalekar from IRB InvIT team. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and after the opening remarks by the management, there will be a question and answer session. Please note that the duration of the call would be 45 minutes, and any queries left unanswered after the call can be subsequently mailed to the management for adequate response and resolution. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now request Mr. Menon to give you an overview of the significant development during the quarter. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome all the investors and analysts on this call. Hope you have reviewed our detailed numbers as well as the presentation. During the quarter ended June 2022, 4 of our project assets, that is Jaipur Devli, Amritsar Pathankot, Talegaon Amravati, and Tumkur Chitradurga, have received a tariff revision of 10.16%, which has been effective from 1st of April 2022. On the backdrop of this high tariff rate revision, our per day collections have improved by almost 13% for the current quarter as compared to the quarter ended March 2022, excluding Bharuch Surat and Surat Dahisar project. There was no tariff revision in MVR project in this quarter. The project-wise growth, comparing with the trailing quarter, I will just go through it. Tumkur Chitradurga, the percentage increase is 15.65%. Omalur Salem is 4.26%. There was no tariff revision for this in this quarter. Jaipur Devli 11.01%, Talegaon Amravati 13.24%, and Pathankot Amritsar it is 17.14%. During the quarter, Surat Dahisar project has completed the concession period and has been successfully handed back to NHAI on 25th of May 2022. The expected tariff revision for Omalur Salem project would also be in the range of 14% from September 2022, considering the WPI for March 2022. With regard to the acquisition of new assets, the trust has already received the non-binding offer from sponsor for acquisition of Vadodara Kim HAM project. We are expecting to get final offer soon. The investment manager has already appointed the intermediaries for evaluation of this asset. Post completion of the independent valuation for the asset and the due diligence process, which is expected to get completed soon, the proposal will be put forth before our board for discussion. Post the board approval, we will seek unit holders' approval if found viable by the investment manager. As discussed during the last con call, we expect to distribute a minimum of rupees 8 per unit for the financial year 2022-23. I would now request Rishabh Gandhi to take you through the financial performance for the quarter. Over to you, Rishabh.
Thank you, sir. Comparing the current quarter with the corresponding quarter of previous year, the total consolidated income for the current quarter increased to 718 crores from rupees 337 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year. This income includes income from arbitration award of 423 crores. The consolidated toll revenue for the current quarter increased to 287 crores from rupees 249 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year. EBITDA for the current quarter stood at 253 crores as against 275 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year. Interest cost, which includes interest on premium deferment, for the current quarter remained at 35 crores as against 35 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year. Depreciation, including amortization, for the current quarter reduced to 113 crores from 129 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year. The profit after tax for the current quarter decreased to 103 crores as compared to 108 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year. I would now request the moderator to open the session for Q&A.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from DM Capital. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir, and congratulations on a decent set of numbers. So my first question is what is the timeline for acquisition of VK1? What are the next steps? And have you tied up for the date for acquiring the asset? And what is the rate expected?
Mohit, I think as we explained last time also, we will try to close this acquisition by end of September. And with regard to the acquisition funding, our intent is that 50% we will fund through internal approval, retained internal approval, and 50% through acquisition debt. And cost of debt, once we have a final firm offer, we can share this.
And what are next steps are required to close the transaction?
So we have already the trust has already received offer, and they are evaluating. They are in process of. They have already appointed the valuer and the law counsel for doing the due diligence, which is expected to complete soon. And meantime, within IRB will also give the firm final offer within very soon. Probably once the trust gets the final offer, then they will take it up along with the valuer's report and the due diligence report to the board. And once board approves, then that will go for the unit holders' approval. And I think this process will take, including the approval of the unit holder, 30 to 45 days from now.
Understood, sir. And sir, can we expect any other road assets from private InvIT now to get transferred into the or be offered to the public InvIT over next 12 months?
Yes, I think in the last phone call also we have talked about that there are a couple of matured assets with the private InvIT, and once this acquisition of VK1 is done, probably that will be the appropriate time to discuss what kind of asset is available. But we can expect at least one asset in next 6 months from the conclusion of this transaction.
Understood, sir. Lastly, sir, on the DPU guidance, I think we are told last time 8 rupees per unit. Are you maintaining that guidance? And can you please confirm the premium rate repayment plus expected interest repayment or principal repayment over FY23? My sense the number is around 2.3 is for the premium repayment, and interest is expected for FY23 is 1.3. Is that number correct? 1.3 billion. 2.3 billion plus 1.3 billion.
No, I think on the interest side, the rate is 7%. Probably it will be the lower number. So just to share with you, we are seeing a quite robust growth. Even if you look at on the sequential basis, this 5 assets has seen a very good growth. Though there was no rate revision in Omalur Salem, still the growth was around 13-14%. If I will look at the number on the sequential basis also, the growth is quite robust, And as you rightly mentioned, close to 2.25 is the premium payment. 2.25 billion is the premium payment, and around 50.54 billion is the debt repayment. Interest, I think it will be close to 1 billion.
Understood, sir. Thank you and all the best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rajiv Malhotra from Honda Investments. Please go ahead.
Good morning and a wonderful result, sir. Could you let us know how much interest to be paid to NHI on the deferred premium, and is there a way we can refinance that through any other bank or financial institution?
Sir, as of now, the rate is bank rate plus 2%, which translates close to 7.15%.
Okay, then there is no big deal in transferring it to a bank or anything like that. Secondly, sir, for two of our major projects like Jaipur Deoli and Tumkur Chitradurga, is there any improvement on the ground for the mining ban going away or mining trucks improvement on the ground?
I think first I will take you the growth during this quarter. The Jaipur Deoli, we have seen around 11-12% kind of growth. Tumkur Chitradurga, we have seen 15-16% kind of growth. And there was no challenge on the Tumkur Chitradurga with respect to the mining. Jaipur Deoli and Amritsar Pathankot had some mining issue. And Amritsar Pathankot, we have seen around 17% increase in the revenue if I compare with the trailing quarter. So I think we are seeing a strong recovery. And as explained in the earlier quarter, there is some category of the mine where the mining has already started, and that has led a good traffic growth in previous quarter as well.
Okay. Lastly, sir, for Tumkur Chitradurga, one of the cases which has now gone into arbitration, there is a lot of money stuck up in the escrow account. Can't we make an application to get that money released to NHI? At least we will save on the interest. That is a personal thought from our team here. And secondly, when do you think both the arbitrations of Tumkur Chitradurga and Pathankot Amritsar could conclude? I understand they were started sometime in March of 22.
Yeah, Rajiv. Regarding Tumkur Chitradurga, the embargo lifting on the operations of the escrow account, it is under arbitration.
Okay.
The hearings for this particular purpose has been completed, and we are expecting the order to be released within another, say, 10 to 15 days.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that issue will be resolved in this next quarter.
Oh, wonderful.
Rajivji, just to add, a large chunk of the amount which is stuck in the escrow account will go to the NHI only. We will be getting close.
We will be getting close to, sorry?
I think the large portion will go to NHI. I think close to 75 to 100 crores will release to us.
Okay. No, that was not the point. The point was that we are paying interest to NHI. The escrow may be not accruing any interest. That's my thought. I'm not sure, is it in a fixed deposit or in a normal account? But that was the thought, that if we can release it, at least we save on the interest.
The interest part, as you know, that the embargo was put by the court at the instance of NHI.
Right.
So I don't think that interest will be payable to NHI on this part of the premium.
Okay. And when do you think would there be a decision on the Pathankot Amritsar lockdown, this farmer strike arbitration?
Yeah, that matter we actually wrote arbitration, but NHA has called for conciliation, and the matter is now in the conciliation is in progress, and we may get some resolution within another, say, 45 to 60 days.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dheeraj Dave from Samvat. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks a lot for giving me opportunity. Sir, my question specifically. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
sir, we can hear you. Please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. So my question is basically on slide 23. We find exclude amount due but not received rupees 32.8 crore in Q1 FY23 as well as same amount in Q1 FY22. So what is this amount for in NDCF working slide?
So as explained earlier by Menon sir, regarding the Tumkur-Chittoor project, there is an embargo on our escrow account. So the SPV is unable to pay the interest to the trust. So this amount is payable by the SPV to the trust.
Okay. So that has been because of embargo being not transmitted. So that we are not considering an NCF distribution, right? So whenever that amount will get released, would it mean that company would have higher NDCF to be shared with the unit holder?
Yes, but that, as I explained earlier, that part of that will be used for the acquisition funding for the VK1.
New acquisition which we intend to do.
Yes.
Okay. And what would be approximate amount? Let us say that if Q1 is the last date, Q1 23, then what would be the amount, assuming that award happens in, say, whatever 25, 30 days, what we are expecting? Then what would be the total amount which we shall be getting? Only on our part. I am not worried about what NHAI need to get, but what is the total amount? Because to that extent, our debt and equity will be lesser required, right, for acquisition of new assets.
I think with respect to the final amount, whatever is getting derived, that we can tell you once the embargo is lifted. But as we have talked about in previous quarters numbers also, the amount will be in range of 75 to 100 crores.
Okay. So to that extent, we will be having a fund which can be utilized for acquisition of new asset, and hence will require lesser of dilution as well as debt, whatever we decide. Okay. That's the one part. Secondly, on slide 17, there is some income being booked from Bharuch Surat BOT project, 6 million as total income and EBITDA of 5 million. So what is that for? Like we have passed on the assets to NHAI. So how we are getting that? What is the nature of that income?
The project has been handed over to NHAI. There are some fixed deposits in the entity on which we have received interest income, and this amount includes that.
Okay. So henceforth we won't recruit anything. Basically, this is the closure of that. That's the last quarter, whatever FD which we have, that 6 million is the interest on that. Henceforth, we should not expect anything from Bharuch Surat, right? It would be just done.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. Fine. Wish you all the best and thanks a lot. So just one request, your presentation, at least I couldn't find on BSE website or NSE website. So I would request that it was available on company's website, but it might be worthwhile if you put into BSE, NSE, because most other companies and InvIT presentations are also available. So just a request, if you can consider. Thanks a lot. Wish you all the best.
Okay, we'll keep in mind in future.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ashish Shah from Centrum Broking. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning and thank you for the opportunity. The first question is on the IRR threshold that we might have for the acquisition of the HAM asset. So if there's anything that you would like to share in terms of what's the minimum IRR that you would seek for the acquisition?
I think, Ashish, once the firm offer is made and once the board approves, we can provide you the exact IRR. But since the 50% funding is happening through debt and 50% through internal accrual, which can be considered as equity, so IRR on the equity portion will be more than 12%. This is what I can say.
Okay. So that's like the target IRR that you will seek to have.
Yes.
Okay. And sir, in terms of the major maintenance for F23 that or F24 that we can probably forecast at this stage, what would be the amount that one can expect?
I think for FY23 and 24 there is no major maintenance because most of the assets we have completed the major maintenance by FY22. So next 2 years, even if you look at the O&M is hardly 100 crores each year. So FY23 100 crores and FY24 close to 90 crore rupees.
Okay, and nothing significant you are saying in terms of the major maintenance?
Yes.
Okay. And lastly, sir, more of a suggestion that we used to have a traffic volume data towards the end of the presentation, which is not there this time. So it used to be actually quite helpful. So if you can continue giving that, it will help.
It's available on slide number 19 to 23.
Sorry, then I might have missed it in which case.
There's a frequency has been changed.
Yeah, I saw that. Sorry, I saw. Thank you. Yeah, it's there. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Ashish.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Satyender Singh from UON Infotech. Please go ahead.
Good morning and congratulations for a steady set of numbers. My first question is regarding the Talegaon-Amravati highway. So is the impact of the road closure due to the Nagpur ROB works, is that over and is it back to business as usual? And also, have we done any study of any impact of the Samruddhi Expressway on this road? Okay, so has a study been done? What is the impact? And do we have any claim over NHI because of this? Okay.
So as you can see, for Talegaon-Amravati project, the sequential growth in toll numbers has been by 13%. So we have seen gradual improvement in the toll collection, apart from the tariff rate revision. Apart from that, on the Samruddhi Expressway, we don't see much impact on our project pathway on account of that expressway getting operational.
Okay. So, but is that ROB thing over? So, is it back to business? Is that closure now a thing of the past?
There has been some restrictions still going on, but we have seen gradual improvement in our collection. The restrictions still are there.
Okay. My second question was. Okay. Yeah, my second question was a follow up on a suggestion that had come earlier by some other speaker. So this was regarding that the money lying in the escrow. So I think the issue is that we are paying to NHI for deferred premium interest at the rate of bank rate plus 2%, which is now, like you said, 7.15%. And at the same time, we have a large sum of money which is lying in the escrow, not earning any interest. So could this idea not be explored? While I understand that the decision is expected soon, that at least the uncontested portion of the NHI premium, okay, so maybe an application could be made that part could be released. It would save us the interest on deferred premium, which is sizable at about 9 crores per quarter. So and growing.
I think I've already answered this in the earlier question, that whatever is lying in the escrow account due to embargo placed on the escrow account by the court. So I don't think there would be any interest payable to NHAI for delay in the payment of this premium. At the same time, whatever is lying in the escrow account, what maximum is going to NHAI, and that would be going without the interest, as I believe the order would be.
And just to add, with respect to the interest provided in the books, that relates the premium deferment which was allowed by the government as a part of the policy. So that amount is different than whatever amount is lying in the escrow account.
No, I agree with you, Menon. The point is that there probably no need for premium deferment in case we had that funds available. So it is that blocking of funds which is causing this premium deferment to continue. Okay, we could have probably foreclosed that premium deferment provision.
No, the premium deferment scheme, that is still there, available. After the arbitral award, it will be there. We are not going away from the deferment scheme at all. So if the embargo is lifted, the deferment scheme, whatever we have to pay, the repayment will start as per the supplementary agreement. I think 2024-25 it will start the repayment. So that doesn't affect it.
Okay, fine. One final question. This is regarding the two projects which have gotten over, the SD and the IDA. So I just want to understand what is the equity or funds lying in these two SPVs and how do these flow? So are there any residual funds and equity lying in these two SPVs, and how do they flow back to the trust now that the projects are over?
I think with regard to the SD and IDA, whatever the surplus and equity was lying, they have extended those to other SPVs. For example, there was a farmers' agitation in Pathankot. During that period, they have given to the Pathankot, or even in Tumkur-Chittoor embargo, they have given to TC. So those monies already extended to the other SPVs, and whenever those SPVs will have a surplus, those will flow to the SD and IDA, and that will ultimately flow to the trust.
Okay, fine. Thank you. And one final question. So there has been a repeated query regarding the buyback. So the management last time said that we'll have a look at it and come back. So any thoughts on the buyback? Okay.
We are still under discussion with SEBI, and we are awaiting the regulation from them.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rikesh Parekh from Absolute Advisory. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity. Sir, we'd like to understand what will be the IRR on the new project what we are looking at to acquire?
Sir, with respect to the new project, as we have already talked about, that with 50% internal accrual, it will be IRR will be more than 12%.
Okay, so we'll be maintaining that 12% benchmark, and not increasing, trying to increase over there by any chance, or how do we look at it?
Sir, the project which we are acquiring is not a toll project, and the project is AA rated, and on the receipt of the first annuity, probably that will become a AAA asset, and that has a stabilized kind of revenue. So typically, those kind of stabilized assets are available at lower discounting, but we are trying to get at least 12% IRR on whatever internal accruals we'll be spending on that particular project.
Sure. And what will be our leverage post this acquisition?
I think we will be reaching to 40 to 45% of the leverage level.
Mm-hmm. 40 to 45. And these two projects, Surat, Bharuch, Daisar, Surat, and the project what we have completed. So any fixed depositors on the line, so can we utilize it at other places, the funds released from there?
So that fixed deposit has been utilized in the current quarter and will be used for the payment of distribution.
Okay. Thanks. That's it from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dhwanit Chawla from an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. My question is with regards to the DPU guidance you have given. Firstly, the DPU which you have announced for this quarter, it is... Hello?
Yes,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the DPU which you have announced for this quarter, it includes payoffs from the Surat Daisar project as well, correct? And if that's the case, barring the revenue from this quarter, how will you still be able to manage the same DPU over the next 3 quarters if the revenue from this project is?
Good question. With respect to the DPU, the current quarter there was embargo on Tumkur-Chittoor project, and as Mr. Menon has already explained that hearing for that particular embargo aspect has been already concluded, and we expect order in 10-15 days. Once the embargo is lifted, there will be a surplus of the Tumkur will be also available for distribution. And if you look at the fire project, the growth is quite robust. And with respect to the two projects, as we explained the last time also, the maintenance which was there in FY22 was 300 crores, and in FY23 the expected maintenance will be 100 crores because we have a fixed price contract. The maintenance itself is coming down to 200 crore rupees. There will be a saving on the maintenance side, and we expect there will not be a very significant dip in the EBITDA on the overall basis. So I think with fire project we should be able to meet our guided payout for this financial year and year for future years as well.
Secondly, sir, just a little bit out of curiosity, the Surat Dahisar and the Bharuch Surat projects, have we tried to increase the concession period or get them back, or have they been allocated to some other company or a trust or something?
I think with respect to the Surat Dahisar and Bharuch Surat, project is already given on the cash collection, and the trust do not take a contract on cash collection basis that you collect and pay to the NHI. If those projects it will come for a longer tenure period, then the trust can look for those assets.
Got it. Thank you very much, sir, and all the best for the coming quarter.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sanjay Surve from an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, hello. Thank you for taking my question. Actually, I just wanted to understand how to read this particular slide here. So I see on slide 13 the net toll collection is around 287 crores, and when I'm looking at the NDCF slide, which is the slide 23, the total cash inflow at the trust level is around about 160 crores or 159.4 crores. So how is one supposed to read this?
So on slide number 13, we have provided the toll revenue earned by each and every SPV on the individual SPV, and there are at each SPV level there is income from toll collection. Thereafter, there are payments towards maintenance part, and interest is paid to the trust on the outstanding loan. So that interest payment by the SPV to the trust is considered for NDCF purpose by the trust as an income from on trust level.
Okay, so basically it is the net toll collection less all the interest and expenses part, and then you're saying that the cash flow at the trust level is around 160 crores, right?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Got it.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shubhankar Oja from SKS Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for this opportunity. So basically, how soon do we need to complete this acquisition of the new assets to maintain this 8 rupees distribution, or is it not subject to the acquisition getting completed? I mean, irrespective of these new assets coming or not, we will still be able to maintain this 8 rupees distribution. That's my question.
Yeah. So with regard to the payout, we have talked about the payout based on the certain growth assumption in the current portfolio. We have not considered the new asset addition in the payment of in the expected payout of rupees 8 rupees.
Okay, so even if that doesn't happen, you will still be able to do a 8 rupees distribution for the year. Is that so?
Yes, we expect to distribute 8 rupees without acquisition of the asset.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sunil, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, good morning. Congratulations on the good set of numbers. My question is short. Would you be looking at only HAM projects going forward, or would you be still considering BOT projects?
I think we will be looking at both HAM and the BOT, because in the HAM asset, as it's a stable asset, that does not increase the payout very significantly. But on a BOT project side, because there will be growth which will be coming, and that can basically increase the payout in the latter years. So I think we will be looking at mix of HAM and BOT.
Okay, thanks. And one last query. What is your current weighted cost of average cost of debt?
So current cost of debt is 7.25.
7.25. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Murthy, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Morning to all the people. My question is very simple. We're going for a new project to acquire. In that, internal rate of return, I was informed by Mr. Menon, is 12%. But we see our trust units are providing yield of 16% at this point of time. So when you acquire at a lower yield, will it result in depreciation of unit rate? That's my question. And do we have internal accruals enough to acquire? Because every quarter we are releasing most of the money as either distribution as interest or repayment of capital. Have we reserved any money? If so, how much we have reserved?
Good question, Murthy. With respect to first coming out with regard to the acquisition funding, as we have already explained in past, our intent is to do a 50% through internal accruals. When I say that internal accruals, through a retained internal accruals, and balance through debt. And if we can do 100%, or else we can do 100% debt. That is the two options we have. With regard to internal accruals, as we were talking about, we have retained internal accrual in Tumkur Chitradurga, and plus we have a receivable in Amritsar Pathankot, and that can be utilized for funding this 50% acquisition. And with regard to whether it will be dilutive to the unit holder going forward, answer is no, because we are not issuing any unit capital, and the acquisition can be through a debt or mix of debt and internal accrual. Anyway, without spending any single penny, the payout to the unit holder in future is going to increase. So hence it will not be dilutive to the unit holder.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as this was the last question for today, I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Menon for closing comments.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks to all the investors and analysts on today's call. Hope to see you all soon. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your conference for today. We thank you for your participation and using Research Bytes conferencing services. You may please disconnect your lines now. Thank you and have a great day.